You're here today, and what we're going to be doing is taking a look at the bacteria that lives in your mouth, and we want to see if there's any disease-related bacteria. So what we're going to do is be able to take a sample from under your gum line and then view it on the microscope, okay?
Sure.
Okay, so we're taking some of the bacteria that live under the gum line and putting it on a slide that has distilled water on it. And then placing a cover slip over it. Pressing down and then turning it over to remove as much of the air pockets that we can. Okay, Mike, so what I'm going to be taking a look at is there's different types of disease-related bacteria that are able to survive in your mouth. So this is a chart that will show you some of the things that we can look at with the microscope. So this is what the disease-related bacteria looks like. There's spinning rods, there's gliding rods, there's spirochetes, there's amoebas, and there's trichomonads. There's other skin cells that you might be taking a look at as we look at the microscope. So this is what the plaque mass looks like. Sometimes there's some red blood cells, there's white blood cells. This is what healthy bacteria looks like, and then we can look at some skin cells as well. So now what we're going to be able to do is look at it and decide at a risk level. When you have the spinning rods and the gliding rods, that is an early risk level of gum disease. When you have the first three, the spirochetes, the gliding rod, and the spirochetes, that's a medium risk level. And when you have the amoebas and the trichomonads, that's a high risk level. So then we're just going to go to the microscope now and take a look. Do you have any questions?
No, that looks great, thanks.
Okay, so what we're looking at here is a slide from the bacteria from down under the gum line. So we're looking at the different types of disease-related bacteria. We've got the spinning rods, we've got the spirochetes, gliding rods, and right here we're observing an amoeba. It does take it a while to show itself, but it will change shape. It's changing from this area and this area. Here we have another example of a different slide, and here the corkscrew-like shaped ones are a little more visible. You can see the corkscrew-like shaped ones there. These are all the spinning rods. This is a gliding rod that looks like it's trapped around a spinning rod and a spirochete, so it's got a lot more movement into it. Here's a nice sample of the spirochete and spirochete. This large bubble is an air pocket. What we're looking at is an amoeba. If you look at the shape of it, it has a dark edge to the corner and it moves in a pod-like projection. So we'll just watch it for a few moments as it moves. You can notice how this one here is moving, this edge is moving, this edge is moving. This edge is starting to move. When amoebas are present, it's in a deep, deep pocket. They really like no oxygen. All of this bacteria is anaerobic, so it doesn't like any oxygen at all. So it goes to the deepest pockets. And the other bacteria is still in and around it. See how it's changing shape on this side? This side? Actually, this is an amoeba as well. It is changing as we're watching it, sending out these pod-like projections here and here.
That until you see it at a microscopic level and you see the bacteria and all the rest that's happening there, then you don't really appreciate what they're actually doing and why you're cleaning it, why you're doing what you're doing.
That's the value of the microscope, because as soon as the client is able to see what's going on in their mouth from a bacteria level, they're shocked that they see something moving around in their mouth. They can't believe that it's in their mouth. They now want to do something differently rather than having somebody just say you need to brush and floss differently, or you need to brush and floss more. You've got them, you've connected with them so that you're able to move them to a different health level. It's not even about cleaning teeth any longer. It's about health.
People realize what white blood cells do, right? They know red blood cells, they know white blood cells, and we know that white blood cells fight infection. So all of a sudden when you see in your slide and you're looking under the microscope and there's white blood cells everywhere, we don't even have to look in your mouth to know there's infection or there's inflammation going on in there, because your body is telling us there's white blood cells all over here, that there's an infection that it's trying to fight.
Taught in schools, or when you have the new dentists coming up and stuff like that, is there a microscope somewhere where these guys are being said, hey, this is what's going on in your mouth?
Not as far as I know.